Stop right there. I know what you're thinking. That's just how I am. I'm passionate. I speak my mind. I don't let people play with me. Listen carefully. That is not a personality. That is a permission slip you've been signing to stay immature. The enemy has studied your patterns long enough to predict your explosions. He doesn't even have to stop you. All he has to do is trigger you. If he can poke your wound, he can pull your strings. If he can provoke you, he can control you. And when he controls you, he can redirect you away from your assignment while you think you're proving a point. The problem is not your passion. The problem is your governance. The truth is, this is not about being quiet or loud. This is about ruling the world inside you like a king under a king. Until you understand that emotional mastery is warfare, you will keep losing battles you should have never been fighting. Provocation is bait. It is the hook wrapped in your history. It is the comment designed to resurrect your insecurity. It is the meeting where someone questions your competence, not because they want improvement, but because they want a spectacle. It is the text that drips with contempt just to pull you out of character in front of the very people you're called to lead. And you take the bait because reacting feels like power. You feel the surge. You feel the heat. You feel the applause of your own ego. But hear me, reacting is not ruling. Reacting is surrender. When you react, you hand your steering wheel to the one who offended you. When you react, you abandon your post. When you react, you spend tomorrow's credibility to pay for today's satisfaction. If you can be provoked, you can be controlled. That is the mandate of hell against your life, not to stop you, only to trigger you. You must understand this. Kingdom is government. Government means order, law, jurisdiction, and disciplined authority. Dominion is not first about land or titles. Dominion begins with your own soul. When you cannot govern anger, you cannot be trusted with influence. When your feelings are the captain, your purpose is the passenger. Emotions are real, but they were never designed to reign. Anger is a signal, not a steering wheel. Pain is a teacher, not a tyrant. Offense is a mirror, not a master. The enemy wants you to confuse emotion with authority. He wants you to believe that volume equals victory and speed equals strength. But wise authority moves with restraint. Power under control is the essence of meekness. And meekness is not weakness, it is the muscle of kingship. The lion does not answer every barking dog. Why? Because a lion's silence is not emptiness, it is evidence. You don't see a lion prove it's a lion by noise. It proves it by rule. Let me make it plain. One moment of unmanaged anger can cost you years of favor. One email, one video, one hallway blow up can bankrupt reputation you built over a decade. Leaders lose rooms they prayed for because they could not keep their peace when their ego got scratched. Families fracture for generations because someone preferred to be right for a minute rather than be wise for a lifetime. Deals fall apart, doors close, mentors withdraw, teams scatter, not because you lack talent, but because you lacked temperance. I have watched great callings reduced to small corners because the person carrying them never learned to carry themselves. This is not a small thing. This is not optional. This is not just me. This is war. The enemy cannot curse what God has blessed, but he can bait what you won't govern. Now hear the promise. I am going to arm you with a response system, a royal protocol, a kingdom way of moving that will make you unprovocable. 3 movements, simple, strict, not negotiable. First, master silence. Not the silence of intimidation, but the silence of strategy. The pause is a weapon. The first response is no response until your spirit is on the throne again. Second, walk away from the bait. Not every conflict is your case. Not every accusation is your assignment. Exiting is not defeat. It is dominion over your focus. Third, keep your peace. Not peace as a mood, but peace as a jurisdiction you enforce daily. Peace is not found. Peace is kept by law. Your mind, your tongue, your schedule, your company, these are gates, and gates require guards. This system is not theory, it is government. You will not drift into this. You will decide it, practice it, and enforce it like a ruler protecting a realm. Don't misunderstand me. I am not telling you to become numb. I am telling you to become royal. You will feel it. You will notice the bait. You will hear the insult. You may even taste the old habit rising. But kings don't bow to bait. Kings don't answer every rumor. Kings protect their witness because their witness protects their future. Your life is bigger than this comment. Your destiny is heavier than this moment. Your assignment has more weight than your urge. Are you going to trade a century of impact for 60 seconds of satisfaction? Are you going to let a stranger with a keyboard, a co-worker with an insecurity, or a memory from childhood become the master of today's decisions? Stop renting your reactions to people who have not paid for your process. Listen carefully. The first battlefield is your breath. Before you type, breathe. Before you speak, breathe. Before you answer the phone, breathe. Why? Because the breath resets the throne. The breath invites the spirit. The breath remembers the assignment. The world thinks fast is smart. The kingdom knows still is strong. Noise is the refuge of the insecure. Quiet is the workshop of the wise. You want to be great? Then hush the impulse and build your response. You want to lead? Then secure your spirit before you spend your words. If you don't own your pause, the enemy will own your story. I am calling you to repentance and to rulership. Repentance for every time you justified the very chain that dragged you. Rulership because you were designed by a king to mirror his government inside your own heart. Today you break the agreement with provocation. Today you declare, I cannot be baited. I cannot be bought by offense. I cannot be moved from my post. Today you enroll your emotions as servants, not kings. Today you sign the decree, silence before speech, exit before escalation, peace before performance. And as you do, watch how quickly doors that close from your chaos swing open to your order. Your future is waiting for a calmer you. Your assignment is waiting for a steadier you. Your destiny is waiting for an unprovocable you. If you can be provoked, you can be controlled. Not anymore. From this moment, you will not live reactive. You will live regal. Listen carefully. If you don't know what you are, you will misuse what you feel. You were not assembled by accident. You were engineered by a king with a government inside you. The manufacturer does not build chaos. He builds order. He does not issue a product without a manual or a mandate. He places dominion in the design and writes authority into the architecture of your soul. You must understand this. Losing control is beneath your design. Flying off the handle is not your culture. It is a foreign invasion. The truth is, you are not a slave to your surge. You are a steward of your state. You were created to have dominion, not just over projects and platforms, but over impulses and inner storms. Until you understand that you carry a government, you will keep excusing a tantrum as a temperament. Stop right there. I know what you're thinking. So you want me to be emotionless? A robot? No. That's a lie designed to keep you shallow and reactive. Kingdom people don't deny emotions. They govern them. Emotions are gifts, not gods. They are messengers, not monarchs. When a king consults his messengers, he is wise. When a king crowns his messenger, he is foolish. Your anger, your sadness, your excitement, your fear, let them report, let them inform, let them knock on the door of your discernment, but do not hand them the scepter. Maturity is not the absence of feeling, it is the presence of command. Say it out loud in your spirit. My feelings may speak, but they cannot set policy. Now hear this foundation. The first kingdom you must manage is the one within. If you cannot rule your spirit, you will be ruled by people, by pressure, and by pain. You will become a thermometer in every room, changing with the heat of others. Instead of the thermostat that sets the climate, you will become the puppet of headlines, hormones, and history. You will be led by buttons they push instead of boundaries you set. But when you rise to government inside, when you enthrone peace and seat wisdom, you stop being jerked by every yank of provocation. You stop paying attention to every barking dog when you are called to walk like a lion. Leadership is self-government before it is public governance. If you skip the private throne room, the public crown will crush you. Let's confront anger. Anger is not just about what happened to you. Anger is a revelation of what is happening in you. Anger is a dashboard light telling you something in the engine of authority is off. Something else is trying to sit on your throne. Sometimes it's pride. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes an old wound that registered today's moment as yesterday's betrayal. When anger spikes, ask, who is ruling me right now? Is it my assignment or my appetite? Is it my calling or my craving to be right? The problem is not that you feel it. The problem is when you let it rule. Unruled anger is a coup on the inside, a hostile takeover of your spirit's government. And the enemy doesn't need to defeat a king who abdicates. He only needs to distract a ruler who won't sit on the throne. There is a difference between righteous anger and selfish irritation, and you must discern it like a surgeon with a scalpel. Righteous anger moves you towards solution and justice. It is anchored, targeted, and accountable to purpose. It corrects without humiliating. It confronts without performing. It speaks truth, but it does not torch the future. Righteous anger builds policies, not just posts. It writes a plan, not just a paragraph. It weeps for the wounded and fights for the voiceless. Carnal anger, on the other hand, moves you toward revenge and regret. It seeks to win the moment, not redeem the mission. It craves the applause of the crowd, not the approval of the king. It is loud, sloppy, unaccountable, and toxic to your tomorrow. Righteous anger makes you a builder. Selfish irritation makes you a bully. One makes you strategic, the other makes you stupid. Choose your king. Don't misunderstand me. To govern emotion is not to numb it. It is to name it, frame it, and harness it. When grief visits, seat it as a counselor. Don't enthrone it as a dictator. When joy explodes, let it praise. Don't let it break your prudence. When fear whispers, let it report potential risk. Don't let it rewrite your purpose. This is government language. The spirit is your constitution. Wisdom is your prime minister. Peace is your chief of staff. Emotions are cabinet members who advise, they do not decree. Your will submitted to God signs the laws. If you keep this order, your inner court will stay stable even while storms rage outside. But if you swap the seats, if you let anxiety draft laws, if you let anger appoint officers, you will live in a nation of chaos, though you carry the passport of heaven. So how do you practice this rule? Start with your throne test. When the heat rises and your pulse quickens, pause and ask 3 kingdom questions. Who is ruling me right now? What does my assignment require in this moment? What harvest will this reaction plant in my future? If the honest answer is ego, exit. If the honest answer is pain, heal before you speak. If the honest answer aligns with justice and builds a bridge to destiny, proceed, but proceed with order. Speak with clarity, not cruelty. Correct with boundaries, not bitterness. Make a move that protects the mission, not one that entertains your emotions. This is not performance, this is policy. Let me be plain. Every time you say, that's just how I am, you sign a treaty with immaturity. You give your inheritance to a mood. You place a temporary tenant on an eternal throne. You were designed better than that. Your manufacturer equipped you with self-control as standard issue, not an upgrade. The fruit of the Spirit is not decoration for church talk. It is the toolkit for daily dominion. Discipline does not make you less you. It reveals the real you, the you that chooses purpose over provocation, focus over frenzy, principle over pressure. Work this governance daily. Set curfews for your mouth. Install locks on your time. Put guards at your gates, eye gate, ear gate, tongue gate, not as superstition, but as strategy, not as fear, but as freedom. And hear the promise under the pressure. When you enthrone peace, you do not become passive, you become precise. When you submit your feelings to purpose, you do not shrink, you sharpen. When you master the inside, the outside starts to yield. Doors open to disciplined spirits. Influence increases with inner integrity. People trust leaders who don't hemorrhage emotions in public. Heaven entrusts weight to those who can carry it without leaking. You want favor? Govern yourself. You want endurance? Govern yourself. You want legacy? Govern yourself. Today, I call you back to your design. You are not chaotic. You are not out of control. You are not a victim of your chemistry or your calendar. You are a king under a king, a ruler with a realm, a spirit with a scepter. Take your seat. Command your court. Let emotions serve your assignment. Do not let them sabotage your destiny. Speak to your soul and establish the order. My anger will report, but it will not reign. My disappointment will speak, but it will not decide. My excitement will inspire, but it will not interrupt my wisdom. From this hour, you will not be led by people, pressure, or pain. You will be led by purpose, governed by peace, and anchored by the Spirit. Kingdom people don't deny emotions. They govern them, and your future is waiting to meet the ruler in you. Listen carefully. We have established your design and your dominion, but now we must confront the invoice nobody wants to look at. Anger is expensive, and it always sends a bill. You think you got it off your chest for free? Stop right there. I know what you're thinking. I felt better after I said it. They needed to hear me. I just keep it real. That is not realism. That is a lie designed to make you a debtor to your emotions. The truth is, every reaction is a receipt. You swipe your words like a card, you get a momentary surge, and then the statement arrives with interest. Until you understand that outbursts are not catharsis, they are costly, you will keep overdrawing the account of your destiny to pay for a minute of relief. You must understand this. The price is hidden, but the payment is real. It will not charge you at the register. It will charge you in the quiet, after the call, after the meeting, after the damage is done. Let me expose the hidden fees. Reaction taxes your body. Your heart races, your breath shortens, your muscles tighten, and your nervous system gets stuck in a gear it was never meant to live in. You don't recover quickly, you drag the residue into the night. Sleep is stolen, clarity is clouded, your appetite changes, your energy leaks. Then you wake up tired and call it normal. It's not normal, it's expensive. That tantrum costs your next morning. That venting session charged your focus for the whole week. And here is the most dangerous cost. Your spiritual sensitivity dulls. The whisper of the Spirit is easily drowned by the echo of your own shouting. God is speaking peace, strategy, and correction, but your inner noise is too loud to hear counsel. You ask for direction while you keep paying for distraction. Every reaction is a receipt. Now look at your relationships. Because anger doesn't just charge your body, it builds your house. Your marriage pays when you react first and repent later. Trust is a delicate currency, and your spouse is keeping a ledger. You don't see moments when softness was needed, but sharpness showed up. Moments when you defended your ego instead of protecting your covenant. Over time, your beloved begins to walk on eggshells to avoid your weather. Affection retreats, conversations shrink, intimacy hides. Not because you are evil, but because your outbursts are unsafe. And your children, listen carefully, your children learn the economy of noise from you. They will trade volume for influence because they saw you buy control with anger. They will confuse authority with aggression because you modeled it. They will avoid telling you the truth, not because they don't love you, but because they learned that truth triggers a storm. The world will tell you that you're expressive. Heaven will tell you that you are expensive. Anger builds your family at rates you cannot afford. Consider your team, your staff, your ministry. Reaction creates bondage because it makes you predictable. Predictable leaders are easy to manipulate. People learn your buttons, and once they know them, they can move you like a joystick. You think you are in charge because you are loud. In reality, you are being piloted by provokers who can tilt the meeting by pricking your pride. The room stops bringing you problems because the price for honesty is humiliation. Creativity dies where volatility lives. Teams begin to manage your mood rather than manage the mission. They prepare performances for your explosions instead of plans for your objectives. This is how influence evaporates. Authority is weight. If you cannot carry offense without spilling poison, you cannot be trusted with influence. If your soul leaks under pressure, heaven will not add pressure. God is not going to fund a government that cannot balance its own budget. Let us measure the false profit of reaction. Momentary relief is not real control. It only feels like control because you silenced someone else. In reality, you surrendered yourself. The surge you feel after you snap is a sugar high for the soul, sweet now, sick later. Anger lets you win the second and lose the season. You gain applause from the shallow and lose credibility with the wise. You impress strangers with your clapback and depress the people who must live with the fallout. One message, one look, one that's just me moment can reverse a year of trust building. Doors don't slam loudly in your face. Sometimes they just don't open again. You are wondering why opportunities seem slow, why favor feels thin, why conversations are cooler than before. Check the receipts. Reaction bought you attention, but it sold your access. The world celebrates the clapback, the hot take, the instant strike. They call it power. They put it on reels, repost it, and give it 1 million views. Don't swallow that bait. That's a lie from the pit of hell, designed to keep you shallow, distracted, and dependent on applause. The kingdom honors restraint. Heaven crowns those who carry themselves under the government of the Spirit. Popularity is cheaper than peace, but peace is more powerful. Popularity can rent you a room. Peace will build you a house. Popularity changes with trends. Peace governs through storms. Popularity performs for crowds. Peace makes policies that last. Which currency do you want to spend? If you crave the roar of the crowd more than the rule of your spirit, you will keep battering away your destiny for noise. Now, leadership language. Authority is not a microphone. It is a mantle. It is weight. It is the responsibility to absorb heat without transmitting harm. It is the ability to hold offense, analyze it, and respond in a way that protects the mission. If you cannot carry the irritation of incompetence, the sting of accusation, the immaturity of others, and still speak with clarity and order, you are not ready for higher floors. Leaders are shock absorbers, not shock amplifiers. Kings don't take their enemy's bait. Kings set their enemy's agenda by refusing to perform. Meekness is not the absence of a sword. It is the decision to keep the sword in the sheath until purpose demands it. If your sword is always out, you will wound the very people assigned to build with you. The throne requires a governor on your engine. Heaven entrusts weight to those who can carry it without leaking. Let me show you the full bill so you never say it was nothing again. Reaction invoices your body in stress and fatigue. It invoices your mind in distraction and confusion. It invoices your marriage in distance and distrust. It invoices your children in fear and mimicry. It invoices your team in silence and sabotage. It invoices your bank account in missed deals and lost mentors. It invoices your witness in hypocrisy. You post wisdom and practice rage. It invoices your spirit in dullness. You stop hearing the gentle directives that would have saved you from the storm you created. And the enemy smiles because he did not have to stop you. He only had to make you pay for yourself. Every reaction is a receipt. So what do? You start asking for the bill before you buy the outburst. When the heat rises, ask yourself kingdom questions. What will this cost me? What will this purchase for me? Is this expense aligned with my assignment, or is it an impulse tax? If it costs my peace, my credibility, my relationships, and my future, decline the transaction. Say to your soul, card declined. Cut up the credit line of anger that you've been using to fund your identity. Install a spending limit on your tongue. Put your emotions on a budget submitted to purpose. You are the treasurer of your destiny. Stop approving expenditures that bankrupt your tomorrow. Listen carefully. This is not about becoming soft. This is about becoming strategic. This is not passivity. This is policy. Your life is a nation. Your mind is a capital. Your emotions are departments that must submit their request to the law of the Spirit. From today, you will not sign reckless decrees with your mouth and expect peace to enforce them. You will not keep making withdrawals of trust you did not deposit. You will steward your tone, your timing, your talk. And when you feel the urge to perform, remember the price. Tell your flesh, we don't buy that anymore. Tell your history, we paid for that already. Tell your destiny, we are saving our strength for the throne, not spending it in the comments. Here is my charge. Stop living like a consumer of chaos and start governing like a custodian of peace. The next time the bill of anger is presented, don't sign it. Choose the economy of the kingdom. Pay in patience, invest in restraint, save in silence, purchase influence with integrity, build credit with consistency, protect your inheritance with disciplined boundaries. Because when you cannot be provoked, you cannot be possessed. And when your life learns to keep the receipt, your destiny will stop bleeding from unnecessary purchases and start growing from wise investments. Every reaction is a receipt. From this day forward, buy only what your purpose can afford. Now we put a weapon in your hand. Rule number 1, non-negotiable, not optional, not up for debate. Master silence. Listen carefully. The first victory is not winning the argument. It is winning yourself. If you don't conquer your first impulse, you will be conquered by your first impulse. If you don't own your pause, you will be owned by your provocation. Stop right there. I can already hear your mind pushing back. But if I don't answer, they will think I'm weak. If I don't clap back, they'll think they got me. That is the language of insecurity masquerading as wisdom. The world is addicted to announcement. The kingdom is anchored in restraint. Noise is often the perfume sprayed on insecurity to cover the smell of fear. Silence is the evidence of power under control. You don't have to prove you are in charge when you actually are. Understand this. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is power choosing its moment. The lion doesn't spend energy barking back at dogs. The eagle does not hold a press conference for pigeons. Greatness is married to silence because silence gives wisdom time to catch up to emotion. Your feelings sprint, your wisdom walks, your adrenaline surges, your discernment settles. The pause allows heaven to speak, your spirit to seat itself, and your assignment to re-enter the conversation. You think fast is strong. No, still is strong. Slow is surgical. Quiet is strategic. The truth is, when you rush to respond, you become a translator for your pain. When you pause to respond, you become a steward of your purpose. Look at the pattern of your king. There were moments when accusations flew like arrows and he did not answer a word. He could have called down fire. He chose to master his tongue. He could have defended himself from slander. He let silence expose motives and time tell truth. When a trap was set with a question about stones and sin, he bent to the ground and wrote, what was that? The pause as policy. The refusal to let pressure dictate response. He answered many things, yes, but not everything, not every time, not on their schedule. That is not cowardice. That is kingship. Learn it, live it. Let your restraint be louder than their provocation. Here's where most people get confused. Silence is not avoidance, it is discipline delay. You are not evading responsibility, you are enforcing jurisdiction. The pause principle is simple and strict. You don't respond to pressure in the heat. You respond from principles in the quiet. You do not let the temperature of the room set the tone of your mouth. Your values set your volume. Your assignment writes the script, not the accusation. Until you understand this, your life will be an improv show for other people's agendas. From today, install a policy. No heated reply without a holy pause. Not a suggestion, a policy. Your future will thank you for the law you pass in your spirit today. Let me teach you the mechanics, because spirituality without practice is just poetry. Your body must obey your spirit. When pressure spikes, take the throne through your breath. Inhale slowly through your nose to a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. Do it again. That's not therapy, that's government. Lower your shoulders, unclench your jaw, uncross your arms, soften your face, bring your eyes to stillness, slow your pace, lower your voice on purpose. The lower the voice, the higher the authority. Reduce your words, measure your tone. Your physiology is either a fuse for your flesh or a conduit for your calm. Train it, command it, make your body respect your assignment. And you need language for your pause, because silence is a practice, not a blank stare. Arm yourself with phrases that protect your peace while you reset your throne. Say, I will not answer that right now. Say, give me a moment. Say, let me think about that and respond when I'm clear. Say, this topic matters too much for a rushed response. Say, I will address this, but not in this tone and not in this setting. That is not deflection. That is direction. You are not running from people. You are rescuing your purpose from unnecessary warfare. If they try to force you into a corner with deadlines made of ego, step out of the corner with dignity. Kings don't take tests they didn't schedule. Set the time. Set the place. Set the tone. Stop right there. I can hear you say, but what if it's urgent? Most urgent emotional demands are counterfeit emergencies. The enemy creates false fires to pull you off the building site. Learn to smell the smoke of manipulation. If it's an actual crisis, your calm is more necessary, not less. Panic never saves a life. Policy does. Your pause is a fire break. It keeps the flame from jumping from incident to identity. If you collapse your boundaries every time someone shouts, you have signed over your government to the loudest lobbyist in the room. No more. Your life is not a democracy of moods. It is a kingdom under the Spirit. Let's get practical at home. In your marriage, practice the pause as covenant protection. When the conversation gets hot, don't weaponize volume. Stop, breathe, lower your voice. Speak your boundary. I love you. I want to understand. I need 20 minutes to cool down so I don't say things that injure us. That is not stonewalling. That is stewardship. Set a time to resume. Show up to that time. Bring clarity, not catastrophe. With your children, model the pause so they learn government, not fear. Kneel to eye level. Slow down. Listen first. Correct calmly. Your silence is tutoring their self-control more loudly than your lectures ever will. At work and in leadership, convert the pause into policy. When someone throws a hot grenade in a meeting, don't pick it up with your mouth. Say, let's park that. I'll circle back after I've reviewed it. Write notes instead of writing wrath. Ask clarifying questions instead of defending your ego. Delay the email. Always sleep on a reply that was born in offense. Institute a 24-hour rule for responses that could cost you credibility. Protect the mission by protecting your mouth. Now let me give you a simple royal protocol to rehearse until it becomes reflex. 3 steps. First, still your body, breath, posture, eyes, voice. Second, secure your throne. Remind yourself of your identity and assignment with a short internal decree. I am a ruler under the king. My peace is my jurisdiction. My words are policy. Third, set your boundary with words that buy you time and buy your future freedom. I'll respond when I'm clear. Practice this every day in small places so it's ready for the big rooms. Practice when a driver cuts you off. Practice when a text feels snarky. Practice when you're hungry and the waiter is slow. Small victories train your spirit for heavy moments. Don't misunderstand me. Silence is not forever. It is first. The pause is not to avoid truth. It is to refine it. Your assignment will require you to speak. It will require you to confront. It will require you to lead through hard conversations. But when you speak after silence, your words carry weight instead of waste. They slice like a scalpel, not swing like a sledgehammer. They build bridges, not bonfires. The pause turns your mouth into a tool of government, not an outlet for grievance. You must also install rhythms of quiet long before conflict arrives. Start your mornings with silence that seats your soul. Sit before God without a script. Let the Spirit order your internal cabinet before the day convenes. Journal your convictions. Prepare your phrases. Decide your tone. Leaders don't rise to the occasion. They default to their training. Train in the dark. God midday micro pauses, 3 minutes between meetings to breathe and reset. End your day by reviewing your responses, repenting for breaches, and rehearsing your policy. This is how you build a culture of quiet power inside. And hear me as I close this charge. The pause is a weapon because it breaks the enemy's schedule. He wants you frantic. He wants you noisy. He wants you predictable. Your silence makes you unprovocable. It confuses your accuser. It protects your witness. It preserves your energy for the battles tied to your assignment, not the skirmishes tied to your ego. From today, rule number 1 is law in your life. Master silence. When the bait is dangled, be still. When the heat is on, be slow. When the crowd is loud, be low. Let your restraint preach sermons your mouth doesn't have to. Let your life say, I am not driven by your push. I am governed by my purpose. You want to be great? Then shut up and build your response system. You want to lead? Then halt the impulse and enthrone your spirit. Choose the pause. Practice the pause. Protect the pause. And watch how your future begins to respect you. Because silence is not the absence of power. It is the evidence of power under control. When you master it, you stop being managed by provocation and start managing destiny. Your calm will become your crown. Your quiet will become your leverage. Your pause will become your policy, and your policy will preserve your purpose. Listen carefully. Rule number 2, non-negotiable, not optional, not up for debate. Discern debate. The problem is not that people talk. The problem is that you treat every voice like a verdict. Stop right there. I know what you're thinking. Aren't we supposed to be open? Isn't feedback good? What if I miss something important? No, that's not what I'm saying. I am not telling you to reject correction. I am commanding you to recognize categories. Not every comment is counsel, and not every conflict is yours. Counsel sharpens you. Commentary distracts you. Insults try to enslave you. Counsel confronts to construct. Commentary critiques to be seen. Insult attacks to control. If you don't label the voice, you will lease your future to opinions that were never authorized to enter your gates. Until you understand this, you will keep mistaking bait for wisdom and bleeding your destiny into arguments that were never meant to be fought. You must govern access to your spirit. Everyone does not deserve a response. Access is earned through honor and alignment, not demanded by volume and proximity. Your life is a nation. Your mind is a capital. Your heart is the inner court. The King of Kings himself modeled selective access. He spoke to crowds, yes, but he explained mysteries to a few. He did not answer every question. He did not defend himself to every accuser. He chose when to speak, to whom to speak, and how to speak based on assignment, not anxiety. That's not arrogance, that is government. Show your blueprint to builders, not critics. Guard your process like your life depends on it, because it does. If a voice does not honor your purpose, respect your boundaries, and align with your assignment, that voice is a trespasser. And when trespassers shout at the gate, you do not step outside to debate. You strengthen the lock and continue the work. Let me unmask the manipulation cycle that has been draining your energy and delaying your fruits. It begins with a provoker. Someone throws a hook spiked with urgency, accusation, or mockery. Then comes your reaction. Your flesh bites. You respond hot. You defend your name. Next is escalation. The temperature rises. The issue multiplies. Others join. And what was a spark becomes a blaze. Then regret. You replay your words. You mourn your tone. You wish you had paused. Then shame. You doubt your growth. You question your calling. And the enemy whispers that you haven't changed. And then repeat. Another hook. Another bite. Another cycle. Break it by refusing the first step. If you don't take the bait, there is no battle. If you don't fund the fire, it dies for lack of oxygen. Your refusal is not weakness, it is mastery. You are not called to be a puppet on the strings of provocation. Cut the strings. Keep your throne. How do you discern the nature of what's coming at you in real time? You need diagnostic questions, kingdom questions that filter noise from necessity. Ask your soul, is this about truth or ego? If answering them makes you look right but moves the mission nowhere, that is ego bait. Ask, is this person seeking understanding or control? Counsel seeks clarity. Control seeks compliance. Ask, does this voice carry fruit or just volume? A loud critic with no harvest is not qualified to mentor your field. Ask, is this conversation inside my jurisdiction? Not every storm is in your district. You are not the mayor of everyone's mess. Ask, will my response advance my assignment? If the answer is no, the answer is no. Install these questions as ushers at the door of your mouth. If a word cannot pass their inspection, it does not enter the sanctuary of your speech. Stop right there. Some of you say, but I feel disrespected. Of course you do. That's the point of the bait. Disrespect is the worm on the hook. The enemy knows if he cannot stop you with obstacles, he will try to steer you with offense. That's a lie from the pit of hell designed to keep you shallow, distracted, and dependent on the opinions of people you were never sent to. Your identity is not up for negotiation on the battlefield of comments. Your royal worth is not determined in a thread fought at midnight with strangers. The truth is, some debates are demonic assignments crafted not to discover truth, but to drain power. The adversary is not afraid of your answers. He is afraid of your focus. He doesn't need to defeat you. He only needs to divert you. Don't attend every fight you're invited to. Don't accept subpoenas from hell. Return to sender. Keep building the wall. Set a policy of selective access. There are levels to your gates. There is the Holy of Holies, God's voice and your spirit. No intruders. There is the council chamber, mentors, covenant friends, proven leaders who love your soul more than your spotlight. They have permission to confront you because they carry your future in their heart. There is the mission room, your team, your spouse, your partners in assignment. They get clarity, they get context, they get correction in order to protect the objective. And then there is the outer court, the crowds, the commentators, the casual. They may observe, but they do not legislate. Don't reverse the order. When the outer court takes control of your inner court, chaos becomes your constitution. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are sacred. They defend your development until your fruit can do the talking. Let me give you a simple filter. You can rehearse till it becomes a reflex. Listen, label, locate, then limit. Listen long enough to identify content. Label what it is, counsel, commentary, or insult. Locate its source, honored ally, casual observer, or covert enemy. Then limit accordingly, engage, archive, or ignore. You are not obligated to reply to every ping. You are obligated to steward your energy. Success is a series of daily decisions that nobody sees, and one of the most important is deciding what not to dignify with a response. Peace is better than popularity. Loneliness is better than bad company. Focus is better than applause. Protect your peace like it's your most valuable possession, because it is. Consider Nehemiah in your spirit. He was building a wall and voices came from the valley inviting him to talk. Come down and discuss. That was not counsel, that was bait. He answered with policy. I am doing a great work and cannot come down. That is not rudeness. That is remembrance. Remember your assignment. Remember your timeline. Remember who sent you. A king on a mission doesn't leave the throne to argue with jesters in the hallway. Dogs bark. Eagles soar. You choose your altitude. And let me help your family, because discernment starts at home. Not every mood in your house is a summons to fight. Learn the difference between a cry for help and a campaign for control. Ask, am I being pulled into a drama script or invited into healing? Set the tone. I will talk when we are ready to listen, not when we are ready to lash. With your children, teach them to identify bait early on the playground, online, in the group chat. Give them the language. I don't perform for provocation. With your spouse, agree on cues that signal this is about our covenant, not our ego. Install family policy. Governments run on policy, not passion. In leadership, make discernment a culture, not a personality quirk. Train your team to separate counsel from commentary before it reaches your desk. Establish channels for real feedback and drains for noise. When a hot email arrives, use your questions. When a rumor surfaces, don't chase it. Interrogate it with fruit. Does it serve the mission? Does it strengthen the people? Does it align with values? If not, archive it without apology. Your organization should not be a playground for provocateurs. It is a platform for purpose. Now hear the hinge, because revelation without response is entertainment. Discernment that does not translate into action is incomplete. If you identify bait and still bite, you have traded wisdom for a thrill. When you see the hook, you must keep your mouth. When you smell the trap, you must keep your feet. The next move is not to negotiate with the net. It is to walk away from the pond. That will be your next law, exit with dignity. Kings don't run. Kings reassign their attention. You will learn to leave without leaving love, to withdraw without becoming cold, to protect your assignment without despising people. But for now, write this on the tablets of your heart. Not every comment is counsel. Not every conflict is yours. And not every voice deserves a seat at your table. These rules are not suggestions. They're requirements. Rule number 1, master silence. Rule number 2, discern debate. Practice them today. Practice them when the text comes. Practice them when the meeting goes sideways. Practice them when the comment pokes your pride. Ask your questions, guard your gates, decline the invitation, and watch how your life stops fighting distractions and starts protecting destiny. When you can tell the difference between counsel and bait, you become unprovocable, unmanageable by provocation, and unbreakable in purpose. Your peace will be your policy. Your focus will be your fortress. Your discernment will be your defense. And your destiny will finally have room to breathe. Rule number 3, non-negotiable, not optional, not up for debate. Exit with dignity. Listen carefully. Walking away is not defeat. It is dominion. It is not fair. It is focus. The enemy doesn't always try to defeat you in the arena of ideas. He tries to drain you in the arena of emotion. Some battles are designed to make you lose yourself, even if you win the debate. You get the last word, but you lose your witness. You win the point, but you puncture your purpose. Until you understand that leaving is sometimes the most aggressive form of purpose protection, you will keep mistaking reaction for leadership and chaos for courage. You are a king under the king. Kings do not negotiate with noise. They govern their attention. Dignified exit is government in motion. Stop right there. I know what you're thinking, but if I walk away, they will think I'm weak. If I end the call, they'll say I couldn't handle it. If I postpone the meeting, they'll accuse me of hiding. That's a lie from the pit of hell designed to keep you shallow, reactive, and enslaved to other people's narratives about your identity. The truth is, people who need you to react are addicted to controlling your image because they cannot control their own. They call your dignity weakness because your boundaries expose their bondage. Don't trade your throne for their theater. Strength is not loud, strength is law. Power isn't proven by staying in the heat. Power is proven by choosing the climate. Your exit is not an escape. It is an executive decision to move the conversation from the street to the court, from frenzy to policy, from ego to assignment. You must understand this. Boundaries are sacred. They are not personality quirks. They are spiritual gates. Your life is a nation. Your mind is the capital. Your heart is the inner court. Peace is the constitution, and boundaries are the borders. Without borders, anything can enter. Stray opinions, stray spirits, stray agendas. With borders, your values become visas. If a tone doesn't honor, it doesn't enter. If a topic doesn't align, it doesn't advance. If a demand doesn't serve mission, it doesn't get a meeting. Guard your process like your life depends on it, because it does. Guard your peace like it's your most valuable possession, because it is. When you exit with dignity, you are not running from people. You are rescuing your purpose from unnecessary warfare and escorting it back within the borders of wisdom. Let me give you the mechanics, because revelation without a method is fantasy. Don't negotiate with heat. Heat lies. Heat inflates. Heat distorts. Install exit strategies before the moment arrives so you don't improvise in the fire. You can change the subject on purpose. I'm not discussing that right now. Let's return to the objective. You can end the call with honor. I value this relationship, and I can hear the temperature rising. I'm going to end here and revisit when we're both clear. You can step outside. Excuse me, I'm going to take a brief break and return in 10 minutes with a calm head. You can take a break. This matters too much for speed. Let's pause and reassemble tomorrow. You can postpone the meeting. I won't make governance level decisions under pressure. I'll respond after review. That is not avoidance. That is policy. That is not rudeness. That is rulership. The lower the temperature, the higher the wisdom. In your house, exit with dignity is covenant protection. I am not instructing you to slam doors or give the silent treatment. I am commanding you to install royal protocol for hot moments. Say, I love you, and I don't want to harm us with heat. I'm stepping away for 30 minutes so I can come back gentle and truthful. Set the time. Keep the time. Return with humility and clarity. That is not punishment. That is protection. With your children, model dignity under pressure. Say, I will correct you, but not in anger. I'm taking 5 minutes, then we'll talk with respect. You are teaching them that leaving the room is not quitting. It's choosing the room where wisdom lives. You are showing them a government that values people over pride and peace over performance. In leadership, you must convert exit into protocol, not improvisation. Leaders don't live in reaction. They schedule responses. Why? Because wise words require the womb of time. Walking away buys time to return with wisdom, not wounds. It buys you research instead of rumor, strategy instead of sarcasm, policy instead of pettiness. Establish an institutional rule. No major decisions are made under heat. Table contentious items. Institute a cooling off period for inflammatory issues. Require written summaries instead of verbal sparring. Create a no surprise decisions policy that forces time between proposal and vote. When a meeting turns volatile, call a recess, not a riot. Reset the room. Clarity thrives in calm. Stop right there. Someone will say, but what if they interpret my exit as surrender? Won't that embolden them? Listen, emboldened by what? Your dignity. People who weaponize your restraint were never negotiating in good faith. You don't run your life by the fears of the insecure. You run your life by the laws of the kingdom. Your assignment is too critical to be adjusted by spectators who measure manhood by decibels. Dogs bark to measure distance. Lions move to establish territory. Ignore their bark. Move your territory. Your exit is not a retreat. It is a redeployment of attention toward the hill God told you to take. Let me give you a simple royal phrase book for dignified exits. So your mouth has tools when your emotions want toys. Say, this tone is not productive. I will re-engage when we can honor each other. Say, we're drifting from mission. Let's park this for a later focus session. Say, I don't consent to this pressure. I'll respond after I review. Say, we disagree, and I respect that. I'm going to close this now and consider. Say, I won't be answering that. You don't owe a press conference for every boundary. Kings sign decrees. They don't debate every door they close. And hear me, exiting with dignity includes your digital life. Block the bait, mute the mayhem, unfollow the frenzy. Do not attend every midnight thread that calls your name. You are not obligated to host someone else's demons in your comments. Some of you are hemorrhaging destiny because your thumbs reduce your crown to a keyboard war. Put the phone down, walk away from the app, return to the assignment in your hand. Let's anchor this in spiritual logic. When the tempters taunted your king to perform, to prove, to jump, he dismissed the conversation with the word and removed himself from the stage they offered. He disengaged from manipulated schedules. He refused to let provocation write his itinerary. There is wisdom in holy withdrawal. There is power in strategic absence. There is victory in refusing the valley when your work is on the wall. Nehemiah didn't attend the conference of Sanballat. He repeated his policy and stayed on the ladder. That is what you must do. Repeat your policy, keep your position, finish your wall. You need a practice plan. Start small today. When you feel the heat in a conversation, declare your boundary and take 60 seconds outside. When a coworker brings gossip, change the subject to the goal or end the hallway huddle with, I'm not participating in that. When a driver cuts you off, resist the theater of horns. Roll your shoulders down and bless them under your breath. When a family member texts you with a trap, do not sprint onto their stage. Reply with, I'll call you tomorrow when I can give this my best. Then follow through with calm. Repetition makes dignity your default. These 3 rules stand in your spirit now like pillars. Master silence, discern debate, exit with dignity. These are not suggestions, they are requirements. You want to be great? Then shut up and build your boundaries. You want to lead? Then move your feet away from fires that don't belong to your assignment. When you exit with dignity, your life stops being a puppet show for provocation and becomes a procession of purpose. Your peace becomes your policy. Your focus becomes your fortress. Your discernment becomes your defense. And your destiny finally has room to breathe, to grow, to govern. From this moment, write a law in your heart. I will not be managed by heat. I will not be summoned by sarcasm. I will not be detained by distraction. I will walk away to walk in. I will leave the room to keep the crown. I will exit with dignity so I can enter my future with authority. Walking away is not running from people. It is rescuing your purpose from unnecessary warfare. And when you live like that, you become unprovocable, unmanageable by provocation, and unbreakable in purpose. Let your life preach louder than your mouth. Let your exit declare your government. And watch your future salute the discipline that protected it. Rule number 4, non-negotiable, not optional, not up for debate. Keep your peace. Listen carefully. Peace is not a mood you stumble into on a good day. Peace is a government you install every day. You must understand this. Purpose is a seed and peace is its climate. Vision is a plant and peace is its soil. Destiny is a delicate root system and anger is a storm that uproots it. The enemy doesn't always need to kill your seed. He only needs to keep you in bad weather. If he can make your climate chaotic, your calling will stay stunted. So write this in your spirit like law. Peace is not found. Peace is kept by disciplined gates and daily spiritual government. Stop right there. I know what you're thinking. Are you telling me to be unbothered, to stop caring, to ignore injustice, to be passive? No, that's not what I'm saying. That's a lie from the pit of hell designed to keep you apathetic and unfruitful. I am not calling you to apathy. I am calling you to authority. I am not telling you to stop caring. I am telling you to care with wisdom. Kingdom calm is not denial. It is dominion. Being unbothered in the kingdom is not coldness. It is composure under fire. It is the ability to hold your assignment steady while the winds howl. Your king slept in a storm, not because storms don't matter, but because storms do not govern him. That same spirit is in you. Calm is your covenant. Stability is your strength. Your heart is a garden, and you are the gardener under the chief gardener. Whatever you allow into that soil will grow. Offense is a seed. Replay waters it. Retelling fertilizes it. Resentment gives it sunlight. And soon you have a forest of bitterness casting shadows over your purpose. The truth is, you cannot keep meditating on wounds and expect wisdom to flourish. You cannot harbor grudges and expect guidance to flow. Guard your garden. Pull up seeds of offense as quickly as they drop. Sweep your soil daily. Don't host weeds. Don't entertain serpents. If peace is your climate, your fruit will be sweet. If offense is your climate, your harvest will be strange, gifted but prickly, talented but toxic, visible but volatile. Peace is stewardship. It is not passive. It is managerial. Your life is a nation. Your mind is the capital, and your heart is the inner court. The inner court is where decrees are made, where counsel is heard, where strategies are born. That is the room the enemy wants to flood with noise. He throws headlines and hot takes, gossip and group chats, accusations and pressure, because if he can flood the inner court, he can derail legislation in your life. Don't let the crowds legislate your calm. Don't let moods run your parliament. Post guards at the gates, eye gate, air gate, and mouth gate, and give them strict orders. If it dishonors your God, depletes your focus, or derails your assignment, it doesn't come in. Boundaries are sacred. Peace has borders. Now let me be practical, because revelation without practice is performance. You need peace disciplines daily, weekly, and situational. Pray before conversations, not after explosions. Cover your meetings and intercession the way a pilot checks weather before takeoff. Decree over your day, my peace is not for sale. My spirit sets the thermostat. Build worship resets into your hours. When anxiety climbs, go to the corner, whisper a hymn, lift your hands for 60 seconds, and let heaven reset your heart. Meditate on scripture as medicine, not just as memory. One verse chewed slowly can calm a 10-hour storm. Journal your triggers like an investigator. When did the heat rise? What words hooked you? Who drains you? Patterns reveal open doors. Fast from argumentative spaces every week. Take 24 hours away from unfruitful threads, heavy talk shows, and contentious news cycles. Your destiny doesn't need that diet. Limit access to toxic people. Not because you hate them, but because you love your future. Proximity is permission. Don't give demons a desk in your inner court. Stop right there. Some of you are thinking, but I'll miss something if I don't stay informed. I'll fall behind if I don't engage. No, you won't. The world is addicted to noise. The kingdom is anchored in knowledge of God. Noise is the refuge of the insecure. Silence is the workshop of the wise. What you need is not more information. What you need is clear instruction. And listen to me carefully. Peace is the frequency of divine instruction. The still small voice is not competing with your chaos. He is inviting you to quiet your courts. When the waters settle, your spirit can read the map. In peace, you hear the next step, the next call, the next correction. In noise, you hear only echoes of fear and projections of others. If you want details from heaven, you must defend the stillness of your heart. Peace clarifies, panic confuses, calm hears, clamor distorts. Install a daily peace policy. Begin your morning by enthroning the King in worship and setting laws for your gates. What you will allow, what you will refuse, what will be delayed until wisdom returns. Speak to your calendar. I will not stack pressure on pressure. I will insert margins for prayer, breathing, and recentering. Speak to your phone. You are my tool, not my tyrant. Notifications will not be my king. Schedule your hard conversations for your clearest hours, not your most exhausted. Pre-decide your tone before the talk. Pre-write phrases that honor your covenant and protect your calm. Let me think on that and get back to you. I won't be rushed. I need a pause. I choose peace. End your day with an audit. What stole your calm? Where did you guard it well? Confess, release, bless, sleep as one governed, not as one hunted. In your home, make peace a culture, not an occasional guest. Set family protocols. We don't raise voices to raise points. We don't weaponize silence. We pause before we punish. We pray before we plan. Teach your children to find a chair called peace, where they breathe, write what they feel, and return ready to reconcile. With your spouse, install rituals of soft entry. Hug before issues. Pray before decisions. Honor before critique. Governments don't argue every hour. They convene with order. Let your home be a holy parliament where love is law and peace is enforced. In leadership, legislate calm into the organization. Meetings begin with a minute of stillness. Hot topics require a written summary and a cooling period. No decision under duress. Prayer precedes policy. And when crisis hits, leaders speak last after listening, not first from frenzy. Your team will follow your atmosphere, not just your announcements. If your spirit is frantic, their work will be chaotic. If your spirit is settled, their hands will build steady. Peace is better than speed. Clarity is better than urgency. Fruit requires seasons, not sirens. Let me confront a mindset that's been robbing you. Some of you mistake volatility for vitality. You think if you're not stirred up, you're not alive. You chase adrenaline and call it anointing. That's immaturity. The power that changes nations is not manic, it is measured. The joy of the Lord is not a sugar high, it is a strength. You do not need a storm to feel significant. You need a steady soul to carry significance. Your future is heavy. Your crown has weight. If you do not cultivate calm now, the weight will crush you later. The process is not punishment, it's preparation. God is training your nervous system for nations. Let him set your pace. And now hear the hinge that leads deeper. Peace is not only protected by external boundaries, it must be healed internally. Many of your reactions are not about the moment in front of you. They are echoes from rooms you never cleaned, wounds you never named, fires you never faced. Until you understand that unhealed places are amplifiers of offense, you will keep blaming environments that only expose what was already inflamed. Yes, set gates. Yes, reduce noise. Yes, walk away. But also invite the healer into the inner court. Ask him to pull the splinters from your soul so every touch doesn't feel like a stab. We will go there. But today, write the law and start the practice. I will keep my peace as government. These rules are not suggestions, they're requirements. Your life is too precious to be a weather vane for other people's storms. You were designed to rule, not to react. Govern your climate, tend your garden, post your guards, pray before you speak, worship before you work, meditate before you move, journal before you judge, fast from argument, limit access to toxins, and listen in the quiet for the next instruction. When peace is your policy, discernment sharpens, strategy simplifies, and strength multiplies. Your life will stop being a siren and it will become a sanctuary. Your future will salute the calm that carried it, and your destiny will grow, not in the chaos of moods, but in the government of peace you kept on purpose every single day. Rule number 5, non-negotiable, not optional, not up for debate. Confront the root. Listen carefully. Emotional control is not just about what you don't say, it's about what no longer needs to be said. It's not merely putting a guard on your mouth, it's letting God perform surgery on your heart. The problem is not always the volume of the moment. The problem is often the volume of an old memory screaming through a new situation. Until you understand that unmanaged wounds will keep recruiting your mouth, your tone, and your body for war, you will mistake self-restraint for transformation, and you will keep living on the edge of explosion. Peace is a policy, yes, but if the inner court is inflamed, your policy will fight a fire you refuse to extinguish. You must go to the root, because when the wound is healed, the trigger loses its power. Stop right there. I know what you're thinking, but they provoked me, they disrespected me, they cut me off, they shamed me in front of the team, they ignored my contribution again. No, listen, that moment was a match. It did not create the gasoline, it revealed it. The traffic didn't invent your rage, it found it. The tone in that meeting didn't design your insecurity, it discovered it. The comment on your post didn't manufacture your worth crisis, it exposed it. Triggers don't build the bomb, they just press the button. And if there is no bomb wired under the floorboards of your soul, the button does nothing. The truth is, your reactions are road signs pointing to construction zones you have refused to close and repair. Stop cursing the sign, fix the road. Let's name the roots the enemy loves to keep in the dark, because darkness is their power. Rejection that taught you early to hate goodbyes and to chase applause because it feels like oxygen. Disrespect that trained you to over-explain every move, to interrupt before you're interrupted, to fight for the microphone because silence feels like erasure. Abandonment that built an emergency control center in your chest where you micromanage people so you don't feel that ancient door closing again. Humiliation that made your soul allergic to correction, so any feedback feels like a public beating. Fear of losing control that disguises itself as high standards, but is really the terror of being at the mercy of someone else's choices. These are roots. These are not moods. These are not just how you are. These are assignments from hell to hold your purpose hostage through your pain. Drag them into the light. The king is not ashamed to heal his own. You must understand this. Your identity is not on trial in every conversation. You are not applying for value with every sentence you speak. You do not need to prove worth through dominance, noise, or the last word. Your value is settled in the Father. Sonship kills insecurity. Daughterhood silences the hunger for performance. The seal on your destiny is not their affirmation. It is your manufacturer's intention. Your fingerprint is different because your assignment is different. And your assignment is secure because your origin is sacred. If you're a son, you don't beg for a seat, you build a table. If you're a daughter, you don't battle to be seen, you deliver fruit that cannot be ignored. The world is addicted to announcement, but greatness is married to silence. Let sonship stabilize your soul so what they say or don't say cannot turn you into a fire hazard. Now, how do we heal? Because I am not giving you theory. I am giving you therapy for the spirit. First, confess the pattern, not just the incident. Don't pray, Lord, they made me mad. Pray, Lord, I have a pattern of rage when I feel dismissed. I defend myself before I discern. I weaponize my words when I feel small. Call it by name. Heaven loves honesty. Grace accelerates in truth. Then bring your confession into counsel. Counsel, not commentary. Commentary will comfort your bias. Counsel will confront your blind spots. Seek wise, godly voices who carry both compassion and correction, who love your future more than your feelings, who will tell you you're not crazy, but you're also not right. Let's heal this. Don't shop for agreement. Submit for alignment. Next, forgive deliberately. I can hear the objection rising, but they don't deserve it. They haven't apologized. They still minimize what they did. Stop right there. Forgiveness is not a reward for their repentance. It is a release of your captivity. Forgiveness doesn't deny the debt. It transfers the case to a higher court. When you forgive, you are not erasing justice. You are relocating jurisdiction. You are saying, I am not the judge, jury, and executioner of my own pain. My king is. Release the invoice from your soul. As long as you clutch it, you will pay their debt with your destiny's energy. Release the invoice. Bless the offender by name as an act of government, not an emotion. You may have to do it daily at first. That's not weakness, that's warfare. Then set new boundaries that protect the tender places while they heal. Boundaries are not vengeance, they're stewardship. Do not return to the same ungoverned conversations with the same ungoverned people, expecting a new outcome. Adjust proximity, redefine access. Change the meeting structure. Require written agendas. Schedule hard talks at wise times. Decide in advance what topics are off limits until you and God lay new foundation. Tell yourself the truth. I am responsible for my gates. Boundaries won't heal a wound by themselves, but they will stop the bleeding long enough for the healer to stitch. Replace lies with truth until the neural pathways in your mind bow to the word. When the lie says you are easily disposable, answer, I am chosen, called, and kept. When the lie says, if you don't control them, you'll be hurt again, answer, the Lord is my keeper. I can govern me and trust God with them. When the lie says correction equals humiliation, answer, whom the Lord loves, he corrects, and I welcome wisdom that protects me. Speak these not once but daily, not softly but with law. Your mind is a capital city. Pass legislation. The word is not poetry, it is policy. Don't ignore the body. Your nervous system has learned your old laws. It anticipates threat at the speed of survival. Teach it new governance. When heat rises, breathe slowly on purpose. Lower your shoulders, unclench your jaw, whisper truth. Invite the spirit to wash your memory with peace. This is not pop psychology. This is priestly practice. Your body is a temple. Train its courtyards to echo heaven's calm. If your heart races at certain phrases, journal them. Then bring them to prayer under counsel. Ask, where did this begin? Who has my voice? Which room in my past is still furnishing my present? Let the healer walk with you to the hallway where it started. He is gentle. He is thorough. He is not in a hurry, but he is relentless. Stop right there. Someone is arguing with me in your mind, but this is my personality. This is my culture. This is how my family is. No, that's not what I'm saying, and that's not what the kingdom is saying. Personality is a pallet, not a prison. Culture is a context, not a cage. Family patterns are histories, not destinies. The cross breaks curses and births a country called kingdom. In that country, gentleness is strength, self-control is glory, and meekness is not weakness. It is power under mandate. Do not baptize your bondage with branding. Rename it, renounce it, replace it. Your future requires a better government than your past provided. Understand the economics of anger. It is expensive and it always sends a bill. Every unhealed trigger taxes your clarity, drains your focus, and damages your witness. You may think you are defending your dignity in the moment, but you are mortgaging your destiny over time. What you need is not more willpower in the flare-up. What you need is less flammable material in the basement. That is what healing does. It turns gasoline into water. It turns tinder into stone. It turns a room packed with explosives into a sanctuary where matches die out of options. As you walk this path, confession, counsel, forgiveness, boundaries, truth, you will notice something strange and holy. Moments that once hijacked your day become small hills you step over. Comments that used to own your body for hours become background noise. Meetings that used to spiral become structured and sober. The same bait hangs in the air, but your appetite is gone. Why? Because when the wound is healed, the trigger loses its power. They press the button, but there is no bomb. They pull the lever, but nothing lifts. They stage the theater, but your life has moved from performance to policy. These rules are not suggestions, they're requirements. You want to be great, then shut up and build your roots. Dig until the old lies come up like stones and throw them out of your field. Plant truth where trauma used to live. Water it with prayer. Protect it with boundaries. Fertilize it with counsel. Give it time. You will not only avoid anger, you will become a person who cannot be easily provoked. That's the goal. Not a life tip. A new government. Not a personality shift. A throne installed in your inner world where Christ rules your responses. And hear the bridge forming beneath your feet, because we are moving to a higher law. Healing the root is not the end, it is the doorway. When your roots are healed, silence is no longer strain, it is strategy. Discernment is no longer guessing, it is clarity. Boundaries are no longer reactions, they are routines. Peace is no longer fragile, it is enforced. You don't live at the mercy of moments. Moments report to your government. From here, we ascend to execution in real time, to respond like royalty, to be unprovocable, to let your life speak louder than your mouth. But it begins here at the root. Confront it, heal it, seal it. Because when the wound is healed, the trigger loses its power. And when the trigger loses its power, your destiny finally gains its momentum. Now we execute. Not theory, not vibes. Government. You don't need a new personality, you need a new government. Emotional control is kingdom self-government in motion. Silence, discernment, boundaries, peace, and healing functioning like departments that report to your throne. Listen carefully. From this moment forward, you will stop living as a reactor and start reigning as a ruler in your own soul. You will not be dragged by moments. Moments will be managed by your mandate. The enemy has survived for years on your reflexes. Today, we put him out of business. Here is the operating sequence you must install. And you must install it until it becomes second nature. Pause, discern, withdraw, stabilize, and then later heal. The pause is first. Don't talk, don't type, don't tighten your jaw and compose a speech in your head. Stop, breathe, pray with your eyes open if you have to. Spirit of God, set my thermostat. Stop right there. I know what you're thinking, but if I pause, they'll think they won. If I don't clap back, I'll look weak. No, that's not what is happening. That is the lie of insecurity. Silence is not surrender. Silence is strategy. Noise is the refuge of the insecure. Silence is the workshop of the wise. The lion doesn't respond to every bark in the jungle. He keeps the forest by keeping his composure. You are not a dog chasing every car. You're a lion with a domain to protect. You must understand this. After the pause comes discernment. Not every comment is counsel. Not every conflict is your calling. Ask the royal questions. What is this? Is this bait or is this a bridge? Is this correction or is this control? Does this move my assignment forward or does it mortgage my peace? What spirit is behind this urgency? If it demands immediate reaction, it is probably flesh. If it invites considered response, it may be wisdom. Counsel sharpens you. Commentary distracts you. Kingdom people don't run to commentary. They submit to counsel. Label the moment so the moment won't label you. If it's bait, name it. This is a trap to distract my day. If it's business, respect it. This deserves order, not emotion. If it's real injustice in your stewardship, escalate it in the right forum with the right tone at the right time. Discernment is not paranoia, it's precision. Now the third movement, withdrawal with dignity. Walking away is not defeat, it's dominion. You don't owe drama to anyone. Exit without flames and without fear. Let me give you language, because kings have language and you must upgrade your vocabulary. Acknowledge without agreeing. I hear what you're saying. Delay without disrespect. I'm going to think on this and respond by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Exit without drama. I'm pausing this conversation right now. I value our relationship more than my reaction. Return with clarity. Here are the facts as I understand them. Here is what I can commit to, and here is what I cannot agree to. These phrases are not excuses, they are policies. They are your royal protocols. When someone pushes for instant answers, you say, I don't do instant, I do accurate. When someone provokes you publicly, you say, this conversation deserves privacy and order. Let's schedule a proper meeting. When a thread becomes combative, you say, I protect my peace, I'm stepping away. That's not evasion, that's governance. Fourth, stabilize your inner court. As you step away, return to your government. Breathe slow, roll your shoulders back, pray in your spirit. Open the word not to win an argument, but to anchor your soul. Decree your laws. My peace is not for sale. My heart is not a hallway for demons. Christ rules my responses. Worship resets your nervous system. Journaling turns confusion into counsel. Call a trusted voice who knows your assignment and will not feed your outrage, but will honor your destiny. Do not rehearse the offense. Review the plan. You are enforcing climate control. Peace is not found. Peace is kept by disciplined gates and daily government. Keep it now like your future depends on it, because it does. Fifth, and this is where kings are made, heal the root after the moment has passed. Debrief yourself. What hooked you? What word turned blood to lightning? Where did your breath shorten? That is the signpost to the wound. Bring it to prayer and to counsel. Forgive again, by name, by incident, by invoice release. Update your boundaries, adjust access, teach your body a new law with breath and blessing. This is how you make the next moment easier than the last. The healed place will not flare the same way. When the wound is healed, the trigger loses its power. Keep doing this, and your reactions will become responses. Your responses will become rulings, and your rulings will create culture around you. That is what leaders do. They legislate atmospheres. Let me elevate your vision. Regal restraint is not silence because you're scared. It is silence because your words are costly and your time is holy. Royalty doesn't argue in the street. Kings don't holler from balconies to win approval from pedestrians. They speak in chambers, record decrees, and let officers execute policy. Your life is a nation. Your mouth is a pen. Every sentence should sign something worth enforcing. The world is addicted to announcement, but greatness is married to silence. When you do speak, speak like law. Few words, clear words, accountable words. You want to be great? Then shut up and build weight behind your words. Character weight, consistency weight, prayer weight. People should feel the government of heaven when you say no. They should sense safety when you say yes. They should never wonder if you will explode. They should know you will examine, decide, and enforce. Now, timing, listen carefully. Wisdom loves time. Flesh craves now. The spirit is not in a hurry, but he is never late. Immediate reactions are usually your old wiring screaming for attention. Delayed responses are often your new government inviting supervision. Practice the pause that buys wisdom. Institute the 2-4-hour rule for charge matters. I don't answer high heat issues on the same day. Draft the email, then save it. Sleep, pray, edit, delete the paragraph that was therapy, not policy. Replace it with clarity, not catharsis. In meetings, install the cooling clause. We will revisit this after a break. In your home, pre-decide family timeout language. I need 5 minutes to honor you well. I will come back ready. That's not cold, that's covenantal. The flesh performs to the crowd. The spirit performs to the standard. You answer to the throne, not to the thread. Let me hand you scripts you can memorize until they flow out of you under pressure. I appreciate your passion. I'm going to reflect and provide a considered response. I value this relationship. Let's schedule a time where we can both be prepared. I'm not available for this tone when we can talk respectfully. I'm ready. That's an important question. I'll confirm details and return with accuracy. I hear your concern. Here's what I can commit to, and here's what I cannot commit to. This is how you acknowledge without agreeing, delay without disrespect, exit without drama, and return with clarity. Kings speak like this, not to manipulate, but to maintain order. Use these lines until your spirit writes its own. What will the fruit be when you govern like this? Relationships will recover because your presence will stop feeling dangerous. Your spouse will exhale because home is not a battlefield, it's a sanctuary. Your children will learn to trust correction because your tone is consistent. Your team will build stronger because they will stop wasting energy bracing for your moods and start investing energy executing your vision. Your leadership presence will grow. Rooms will quiet when you enter. Not from fear, but from expectation. Credibility will thicken around you. People will seek your counsel, not your drama. Spiritual authority will increase because hell cannot bait you into forfeiting your anointing with foolishness. Your body will thank you. Your sleep will deepen. Your stamina will expand because you are no longer hemorrhaging energy through constant reaction. And strangers will notice without you trying. Why? Because a calm spirit is loud in a noisy world. Stop right there. Some of you are thinking this sounds hard. Yes, it is. These are not suggestions. They are requirements for anyone serious about purpose, marriage, ministry, and influence. You cannot carry nations with a nervous system that anyone can hijack. You cannot steward a legacy with a mouth that volunteers for every fight. You cannot lead organizations with emotions that clock in late and quit early. What you need is not hype. You need policy, not performance. Practice, not a new personality, a new government. This is the standard of the kingdom. Silence that thinks, discernment that sees, boundaries that separate, peace that governs, and healing that sustains. So here is your charge. Starting now, install the sequence. When heat rises, you pause. When words fly, you discern. When bait dangles, you withdraw. When peace wobbles, you stabilize. When the moment passes, you heal. Do this daily. Do this when they clap and when they criticize. Do this when you are tired and when you are strong. Do it until your reflex becomes royal. Work when they're sleeping. Pray when they're panicking. Prepare when they're provoking. Guard your process like your life depends on it, because it does. And watch how your life will begin to speak louder than your mouth, steadily, confidently, unprovocably, declaring to every room you enter, a ruler has arrived, and his first territory is himself. Here is the charge. Become unprovocable. Not less passionate, more governed. Not quieter because you're timid. Quieter because your words carry weight. Stop donating your peace to people who have not paid the price for your purpose. Listen carefully. Your assignment is too expensive to be rented out to random offenders in the comment section of your day. The problem is not that you feel. The problem is that you have allowed feelings to freelance without a manager. The truth is, destiny requires policy. Until you understand that emotional mastery is not optional but warfare, you will keep losing battles you didn't have to fight. So today, in the presence of God, I command you to protect your assignment like a crown and guard your peace like a treasury. You are not everybody's entertainment. You are the king's envoy. You must understand this. Stop right there. I know what you're thinking, but they keep poking me. They keep pulling me into the ring. No, they don't. You are walking into the ring because your pride loves applause and your insecurity hates silence. That season ends now. From this day forward, master silence. Walk away from bait. Keep your peace. Repeat it until it becomes your reflex. Master silence when they accuse you. Walk away when they bait you. Keep your peace when they underestimate you. Master silence when your emotions sprint. Walk away when urgency screams. Keep your peace when you're misunderstood. Say it again to your soul, to your nervous system, to your schedule. Master silence. Walk away. Keep your peace. Do it in the morning. Do it at noon. Do it in the meeting. Do it in the kitchen. Do it until your reflex is royal. Now, a moment of holy honesty. Put your hand on your own heart and tell yourself the truth. Name your top 3 triggers. Don't generalize, name them. Is it the tone of dismissal? Is it public contradiction? Is it delays that make you feel powerless? Call them out. What is your usual reaction pattern? Do you talk faster, raise your volume, craft punishments with your silence, send paragraphs you later regret, or withdraw without explanation? Own it. We cannot govern what we will not name. And choose one boundary you will implement today, not tomorrow. Will it be a 2-4-hour rule before high heat replies? Will it be, I don't respond to serious matters by text? Will it be no heavy conversations after 8 p.m.? Will it be I leave online arguments at first insult? Decide it, decree it, write it, tell someone who will hold you to it. Boundaries are not selfish, boundaries are sacred. Hear me, as a father in the faith, God entrusts weight to stable vessels. Increased calling demands increased restraint. You are asking for more influence while offering him a volatile container. That is not cruelty on heaven's side, that is mercy. The weight of glory will crack an ungoverned soul. The higher the tower, the deeper the foundation, the wider the doors, the stronger the hinges. You want open doors? Strengthen your hinges. You want new rooms? Strengthen your walls. You want authority? Strengthen your government. This is obedience, not suggestion. Heaven does not promote chaos. Heaven promotes character. If you need validation to start, you are not ready to finish. If your peace can be bought with flattery or broken with shade, you are still for sale. Shut the market. Set the price. Your soul is not on discount. Stop right there. I can already hear the confession forming. But I failed at this before. I've blown up. I've embarrassed myself. I've apologized and still repeated it. Good. That means you are human and honest, but you are not condemned. In the kingdom, your past reactions are evidence, not a sentence. Repentance is not humiliation, it's renovation. Grace is not permission, it's power. The Spirit is a trainer, not a critic. He will run drills with you until your reflex becomes royal. Start where you are. Start with the next conversation. Start with the next text that stings. Start with the next meeting that tightens your chest. You don't need a new personality. You need a new government. And governments are formed by constitutions, not moods. Write your constitution. Enforce your constitution. Review your constitution. Adjust what isn't working. This is how kings are forged. So I commission you now. Rule your inner world. Govern your gates. Set your thermostat. Hold your tongue until truth is ready. Choose dignity over drama. Choose purpose over performance. Choose legacy over loudness. Show your blueprint to builders, not critics. Seek counsel. Ignore commentary. Pray before you post. Think before you speak. Walk when others run. Withdraw when bait appears. Return with clarity when the fog lifts. And when you fail, and sometimes you will repair quickly, repent thoroughly and reinstall your peace immediately. Do not let a moment of weakness become a season of warfare. The enemy counts on your shame to keep you in the ring. Break the contract. Exit with dignity. Re-enter with wisdom. What will the world hear when you live like this? They will hear the thunder of a calm spirit in a noisy age. Peace is better than popularity. Order is better than outburst. Faith is better than fear. Your marriage will hear it and heal. Your children will hear it and grow. Your team will hear it and build. Your enemies will hear it and fail to provoke you. And heaven will hear it and trust you with more. Because the loudest proof of maturity is a calm spirit when you cannot be provoked, you cannot be possessed. That is your decree. That is your destiny. That is your difference. Now lift your head, square your shoulders, breathe like a ruler. Today you begin the practice that will protect your promise. Start now. Start right here. Start with what you already know. Start with the pause. Start with the boundary. Start with the prayer. King Jesus, govern my responses. And then walk it out deliberately, consistently, unapologetically. Let your life speak louder than your mouth. Let your fruit prove what your voice does not have to defend. Go as an ambassador of peace, a steward of order, a governor of self. Step into your day and declare to every room, every thread, every storm, a ruler has arrived, and his first territory is himself.